video number 2 now. Now, something that I'm finding really interesting, or that really interests me, particularly at the moment, is Swedish culture. I just love Sweden as a country and like everything about it, and I've been trying to find out quite a lot about Sweden and stuff, and I'm particularly interested in a philosophy called Lagom. I don't know if you've heard of Lagom, but Lagom is a Swedish word, and it's all about what it means is it's known as the Goldilocks principle. So it's all about balance, not too much, not too little, just right. It's a kind of lifestyle philosophy. So it applies to many different areas: food, design, just really balance in everything. So yeah, I'll be reading about Lagom. I do actually own a book about Lagom myself, but I got this book, another book about Lagom from the library that I'm currently looking at. Quite a few books have been written about it. So as it says on the back, it says the Swedish word Lagom translates as just right and promotes contentment and harmony in everyday life. Covering home, work, health and the environment, Live Lagom includes advice and tips to help you find joy in moderation and balance. And it's written by someone, yes, shares my name, Anna Bones, Balanced Living a Swedish Way. I find this a really interesting book, particularly, I'm really interested in it, just the whole Swedish aesthetic, just functional design just really appeals to me, because my kind of like lifestyle philosophy is very much about moderation. I think it's just naturally moderation. I've been kind of, raised that way, I guess I've just been raised in a very Lagom way, yeah. The way I've been brought up, my mum always practiced moderation. That's probably why I've got quite a healthy attitude to food as well. It was always very much, not too much, trying to kind of look forward to things, not kind of, very controlled and moderated. And so that's the way I was brought up, because my mum had that kind of approach. So I think I've sort of internalised it, and I guess it's kind of made me quite a disciplined person. It just appeals to me on a very natural level. The kind of ideal of not having, of the objects that you do have, all serving a function, all having a purpose, which again very much appeals to me. I find it very hard to buy just beautiful objects that don't have a purpose. Don't get me wrong, I do have some objects like that. I've got a few nice fridge magnets, I've got a few ornaments, but I just find it very hard just buying something that doesn't have a function. To me it kind of feels a bit like a waste of money. I like something that has a use value, not just an aesthetic appeal, but to me they both need to go together. So when I do buy objects that are functional, like something to eat from, like a dish to eat from, or a cup to drink from, it also has to look pretty, but at the same time it must have a function. If something is not going to be used, if it's just there for display, I'm like, don't bother with it. To me it has to have a function. But like I say, I'm not against a few nice pictures on the wall, so I do like, I'm not averse to a few objects that are just pretty for prettiness' sake, but most of the time they need to have a function. So that's why I feel that Lagom as a philosophy just innately appeals to me. And also, I've been finding out about, I don't know if you've heard of a Swedish romantic movement, but at the forefront of a Swedish romantic movement in the sort of 19th, early 20th century was a guy called Carl Larsson, a very Swedish name, which we'll get many Larsons. But yeah, Carl Larsson, he was a painter and author, and he was very much inspired by the arts and crafts movement in Britain, particularly William Morris. So that kind of functional aestheticism, objects that must serve a purpose, but at the same time must have beauty as well. They must be beautiful, everyday beauty in everyday things. Beauty not about ostentatious display, but kind of, beauty just embedded in the everyday. It's very much at the forefront of this movement. And if you Google Carl Larsson, have a look at Google Images, some of his paintings, they're really very beautiful. There is actually a book, Carl Larsson at Home, I think it's called, that I would like to get, although it's quite expensive. The whole Swedish aesthetic is all about minimalism, sort of muted greys and blues, often they have wooden floors covered in rugs. Function and beauty. Also, of course, I love Swedish food. It's very rustic, whole grain. I love their porridge. Get open sandwiches. I like to get a sandwich board. I so need to make a trip to IKEA at some point. Open sandwich. Open sandwich is great. I eat a lot of crisp bread with butter and cheese or with hard-boiled egg for lunch. And yeah, this book does contain a few interesting recipes. There's a recipe in a book for beetroot, lentil and feta salad that I'd like to try at some point. Obviously that's not distinctively Swedish, but you know, Swedes generally eat a lot of root vegetables. It's a simple, very simple sort of rustic diet. And this beetroot, lentil and feta salad contains beetroot, green lentils, shallot, feta cheese and orange zest with a dressing of vinegar, olive oil and a juice of one orange and black pepper. So it serves 3 to 4, so obviously I would cut it down. You use fresh beetroot and you cook the beetroot with water. You boil the beetroot for about sort of 30 to 45 minutes, medium low. You can halve them to shorten the time though. Then you rinse them with cold water, and when cool you peel the skin. And while the beetroot is cooking, you then cook the lentils. Well, I might actually use tin lentils just because, you know, it's labour saving. But yeah, if you cook the lentils, if you're using dried lentils, and then you place the cooked lentils in a large bowl. You cut beetroot into cubes. You add to the bowl with shallot and feta crumbled into small pieces, and you mix. And to make a dressing, you place the ingredients in a bowl and whisk, and then you pour over the salad and toss, and you garnish with orange zest. I really want to make that. As I said, I haven't made that yet, but that's something that I really like to make, and it's found in this book here, Live Lagom by Anna Brones. I'll put the link for this book up as well in the comments section. There's also a potato leek and mushroom gratin that I really like to make from this book. And potato gratin is a common side dish in Sweden. I won't run through the recipe now because that'll take too much time, but it is something I really want to make coming up. And when I do make it, I'll try and guide you through the recipe as well. And there's also a pear and cardamom compote that I like to make containing this book as well. There's also something called ostekaka, which is a Swedish cheesecake. It's completely unlike an American cheesecake and it's a lot healthier. It's more like an egg bake with a cheese flavour, and traditionally they made this out of milk that had been curdled with rennet, but obviously rennet is quite difficult to find nowadays. So a more modern, easier one would include cottage cheese. And the recipe I found in this book is it's dead simple. It essentially just contains 4 eggs, 2 tablespoons of honey, 300 ml of milk, 450 grams of cottage cheese and 60 grams of finely ground almonds, and you preheat the oven to 175 degrees. You whisk eggs and honey, you add rest of the ingredients and you mix together until it's well blended. You butter dish and pour in batter, and then you bake for 35 to 45 minutes until golden brown, and you serve with whipped cream and jam. And you can serve it, it's best served lukewarm because then the flavours come through, because if it's cold it can be a bit too stodgy, but if it's too hot then the flavours don't always come through. So lagom, not too hot, not too cold, and that's how it's best served. And so lagom is all about being frugal, so yeah, not too little, not too much, just right. So yeah, do go and check this book out. And this is the notebook I took my notes in, by the way, with all the recipes from this book in here. I like People Who Smile When It's Raining notebook. I got it from the works because I like the rain. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed these videos, and I very much look forward to speaking to you again next week, and I'll keep you guessing what I'm going to talk about next week. So thank you for watching.